Next to actually buying your kayak, choosing a GPS sonar unit is probably going to be the second hardest decision that you make. To help make that decision a little bit easier, I'm going to show you some of the features of the Garmin Striker 4 fish finder. This is the fish finder that I run on my kayak, and I've been extremely happy with it. It's easy to use, it's packed with a ton of features for its price point, and the best thing of all is it's not going to break your bank. Coming in at just over $100, it's going to leave plenty of room for a quality setup and for you to buy some extra fishing tackle with the money you're going to have left over. Now, when it comes to fish finders, there's two things really that separate them as far as features. One is going to be your sonar features, and the other is going to be your GPS or waypoint mapping type features. So this video doesn't run too long. I'm going to separate those two features, and I'm going to do a part 1 that includes a review and functionality of the sonar portion, and I'm also going to do a part 2 at a later date that includes the GPS/waypoint function on the Garmin Striker 4. Okay, for the sonar portion, part 1 here, we're going to look at the traditional sonar and its menu features, the flasher and its features, along with we're going to talk about the split frequency option with the Garmin Striker 4. The first portion we're going to talk about is right here, the traditional sonar. This is just going to be the traditional 2D type sonar that you're going to have on any standard fish finder. If we press the menu button, we're going to have a load of options here ranging from the range, and basically that's just going to be able to set the range where the bottom contour is. I prefer just to keep that in auto. Your gain, basically how strong the sonar returns are going to be. Again, I like to keep that in auto. We have the option for frequency. Now, when we talk about frequency, this sonar has few options actually. It's got a chirp, which is in 77,000 hertz or 200,000 hertz. And basically that's going to take and determine how wide your cone is, how big a cone that the sonar is actually shooting. The next feature we're going to talk about is the zoom feature, and there's a few options with that. No zoom, bottom lock, manual zoom, auto zoom, or split zoom. And if I'm going to use the zoom feature, I personally just like to set it at auto. And basically what it's going to do is it's going to show a zoomed view of the area where the most activity is. So over here on the right, it's going to show what the actual standard sonar would be showing from 0 to about 30 feet of depth. And over here on the left hand side, you'll see it's zoomed from 14 to about 25, 30, and it just makes what you're seeing here bigger, so that way there you can kind of make it out a little better or maybe see some additional details. The next option under the traditional sonar menu is going to be your overlays, and all overlays are going to be is what you see right here, and basically those overlays are all adjustable. So in the menu we just need to go down to overlay, and we'll be able to take and choose what we have shown, from the compass to the depth to the voltage, speed, or even the time of day. Alright, under the traditional sonar menu, the next feature is the sonar setup, and this is where you're going to go to customize the view of the sonar, as far as to what your taste might be. One option here at the top is to show a depth line, and you can turn that on or hide that, and all that's basically going to be is this line right here. I can use these arrows and up and down, and you just set a line so that there you have a standard depth reference as far as if you see like here, there may be a bait ball, and I can look at that and decide, yeah, that bait ball's at about 10 feet down, so I may want to choose a lure or count down a lure to that depth. Alright, if we scroll down, we'll go to scroll speed, and basically that just gives you an option of how fast your sonar is going to go across the screen. We can choose auto, slow, medium, or fast. When I'm kayak fishing, you're not moving very fast, things like that, so I prefer just to keep mine on the medium. Seems to be the best solution for me. Appearance, there's a whole lot of options under the appearance. We can choose different color schemes, between blue, yellow, classic blue, white, maroon, red, green, orange, red, green, gray. Now I'm going to show you what I personally think are some of the best on here. One is I enjoy just the straight blue. And with that blue, this is what it's going to look like. Just standard. Shows up hard returns more red, and the lighter returns are going to show up in this orange or yellow here as far as how strong the returns are. Okay, the other scheme that I'll take and switch to as far as my colors occasionally will be right here at this orange. And the reason I like that is you'll be able to see here in a moment. It kind of gives a different type of contrast to everything. Now, this may not work for some people, but for me it's the other option that I enjoy. You can also take and go into setup here under the appearance and change your edge to be on. We'll go back to our classic standard sonar view here. And all that's going to do here is show you where the edge of the bottom, it just makes it a more hard or defined edge. Now here's an option for you. You can actually have fish symbols, and you can show it with the depth or anything like that, and you know, we'll just show you what that would look like here in case you're interested in that. And basically that's just going to show you what the sonar believes the returns mimic a return for a fish, and it's also going to show you the depth that that return's coming from. Now the only bad thing about this here option is sometimes it does show fish that aren't really fish, so if you have debris in the water, sometimes that dirties up that return from the sonar and it mistakes it for a fish. Next we have the option for the A-scope, and basically all that's going to do is show a little bit of a flasher on the right hand side of your screen. So it kind of just gives you a little bit of exactly right now underneath the boat or kayak symbol as far as what's getting ready to come across the screen. This is more real time, and this is going to be a little bit in the past. So that kind of concludes what the menu options under the traditional sonar is. Again, you know, there's some features on there you may like more than others. You know, if you get this fish finder, be sure to play with them, find a color scheme or options that you personally like that suits your taste while you're out fishing. The next thing we're going to discuss is right here. It's going to be the flasher, and some people like this here, especially for ice fishing and a few other type of things. I personally do not use the flasher, but some people may like to use that option. The next option as we come down is going to be the split frequency option, and this goes back to the thing where I was talking about earlier when we were talking about the 77 kHz or the 200 kHz. And for this here option, we're going to look at both sides of the sonar. One's going to be in 77 and one's going to be in 200 kHz. Though we're not talking about the GPS or waypoints yet, I do want to just let everyone know that this Garmin Striker 4 does have the option to do both the sonar view and a waypoint view for traveling, you know, to a fishing spot or whatever at the same time. Well, I hope you've learned a few things from watching the video about the Garmin Striker 4 Fish Finder. Like I said, this is just part one of what's going to become a two-part series, and this part was just dealing strictly with the sonar functions and options. The next part's going to deal with the waypoints and GPS tracking type functions. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share. You know, tell us if you've used the Garmin Striker 4 or if you have a question about something I may not have covered in this video. Be sure to ask, and hopefully we can get you the right answers and help you out when trying to make an informed decision about the next fish finder for your kayak.